Hit him with a three count. Pin him to the ground and the crowd go wild, man down. Nobody out.
It's not even his show today. That's right. Hi, it's your friendly neighborhood Red Dog, and this is Red Dog and Friends. It's your boy, your nephew, your cousin. It's the. Oh wait, that's totally wrong. That's totally wrong. Hold on. Let me try this again. What's going on, everybody? It's your friendly neighborhood Red Dog. That's right. I'm the one running the show today, and this is Red Dog and Friends. Don't mind the fact that's up there, Chaz and Friends. That's just it is what it is. But more importantly, let's talk to you about my friend. So you can see him right next to me. He's right over on that side. That's right. He is the 3 Count podcast residential super villain. He is the Dark Lord, aka the Dark Goat.
What it do, people? That was great. That was great.
I told you, I was like, I'm not even gonna tell you about what's going on. I just want to let you know about what I did.
That was epic. That was amazing.
So if you guys like that intro, leave that in the comment below. And then yeah, Chaz, I know Chaz is gonna be like, yo, why can't I get a new intro? And I'm like, yo, finally, I've been telling Chaz forever, like, put a new video together, video package, and I'll make a new one. I'll make a new one for him. And like, he just hasn't done it yet. So like, he's mad because like now his intro for like his show is like the 3rd best intro that we have.
Right? That's great.
But if you guys want to follow us on all of our social media platforms, you guys see right above us, right? You guys can see 3 Count Pod or 3 Count _ pod on X. You guys follow us here on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook. Check us out on the Big Plus Network. That's right. One and only Big Plus Network. I get to do all this stuff by myself. But we're here for you guys. Also, make sure you go check out all of our interview shows. You know, we definitely do come out with Now Entering and Now Entering 201. It is great. You guys can catch up with every single person that we have coming on the podcast. And I think this week we even have like a really couple cool episodes coming up. I have to pull them up really quick just because I forgot, because we have like a lot of people that we always bring on these podcasts, and we talk to a lot of different wrestlers. So I always end up forgetting like who's coming on next. Is really bad of me. I should have been a bit more prepared for this, but yeah, it is what it is. So let's see. And of course, into my videos, we have, I think we just had Zach Xander come on. Yeah. So next up is probably going to be, if I remember right, it is Dylan Mesh is going to be coming on. I'm definitely excited. Dylan Mesh was somebody that I got to work with during the quarantine. During quarantines with Orochi now. Orochi Pro Wrestling. So shout out to those guys. Definitely pretty cool. Mesh is a great person. I've been watching him like just kind of like flourish a little bit in his career, and it's been really fun to like just kind of sit back and relax and see these guys kind of succeed. So definitely go check out the interview. It was a lot of fun. And yeah, so let's just hop around. So normally about this time, Chaz is always like, yo, we're doing oh yeah, buy our merch. Sorry, that's the thing that we need you to do, right?
Yeah,
We gotta keep reporting this. Yeah, so whether you go to prowrestlingtees.com or you just go and buy like Chaz's merch or at PI with For Your Wear, or you go and pick up my gear at For Your Wear, yeah, do that because we can really use your help.
yeah, definitely. And like I said, request and you'll get this. I need more requests.
There you go. And Damien got his own merch too. So go check out our own merch and we'll get you guys lit up. Indie Spotlight, it's really, just we don't really have any shows right now. So we really want to if you guys ever have like stuff that you guys want us to talk about for your promotion, bring it up. Send us all your guys' results. We would love to read those out on the air and get more eyes on your product if we can. So definitely go through and check that out. But let's talk about I don't even want to go into temp check. I really just want to go into this first subject. So we're just going to go right into the subject.
All right. We can do that afterwards. We can go into the first one.
So let's go. If you guys have been paying attention to the wrestling world, Tuesday night, right? AEW and Dynamite and NXT went one-on-one again in time slots. Everybody was doing their thing, right? But afterwards, what was very interesting was when the ratings had came out and everything, and then Tony Khan went on this epic rant. Actually, he went on the epic rant before everything happened, and then like after everything went down. So But what I found, and this is kind of why I want to bring it up, is not even so much about Tony's rant. I don't really listen, I don't really care about what he has to say on Twitter. What I thought was very interesting and kind of a genius move in his aspect was every time he had something to say, he'd attach another match, and then people would engage with that, would engage with his tweet, forgetting that the match is underneath. So like his tweet, his matches that he was promoting was also getting ramped up, and I was like, he's kind of going nuts a little bit, but then he like attaches a quick match to it, and then like everybody like loves talking about it. So I guess what we are is, uh, how do you feel about Tony just going on his rant for on X?
All right, so all right, we're gonna start like I guess from the beginning when they announced like when WWE. Well, I ain't gonna lie, like you know how I feel about the WWE. They can really do no wrong. However, they were dicks last week.
No.
That was completely unnecessary. But I understand that, it was more than just to piss Tony off. It's to sell NXT. Look, this is what we're able to do with NXT if you pick it up, which they
Yeah,
have the power to do so. But I get it. Oscar. Okay, cool. Cody doing that announcement. All right, I get it. But John Cena and Paul Heyman in the same match in the corners of Carmelo
yeah,
and Breaker, and then you add Undertaker. That right there was wrong.
yeah.
So as as
And you
far
didn't
as
even stick them in the main event. Like you stuck them, like so you put John Cena, Paul, and Paul Heyman at the end, right in the main event, right? But then you have like the run over time, and that's when you bring out Taker.
right
Like
for the
yo,
run over.
for the run over, I was like
So
unnecessary.
it was one of those things that okay, I wish Tony would have kept his composure and kept it cool, was just like, you know what, this is what it is. Yeah, this is my birthday week. Yeah, this is probably gonna mess with, Adam's like views of his debut match. But the numbers were gonna be affected regardless because it was on a Tuesday night instead of a Wednesday night.
Yep.
Period. So if you have the people that they were probably down what? About 250,000 people,
Yeah.
roughly. So those 250,000 people are probably the people that watch NXT on Tuesdays and, Dynamite on Wednesday. And then you presented this card versus this card. Yeah, I'm gonna tune into NXT the normal time.
Yeah. And that's the thing about NXT was like it it runs on its normal time slot. So you're gonna want to watch NXT because that's when it normally comes on. And when like I think about like it was funny because like WWE had said something too, and it was on their Twitter page, or I don't remember where I saw it. It might have been like on something else, right? But they were talking about like AEW could have moved this over to a Thursday, but they chose Tuesday
Like
because
real
it was
quick.
Tony Khan's birthday. And it's like, yeah, Tony, you know what I would have wanted for my birthday wish? Um, the other time slot. Like the Thursday night.
Right.
Like, and I get it, right? And this is coming from somebody who like I'm at the Wrestling Open like every Thursday, just kind of like watching and stuff. And I enjoy watching stuff on IWTV, but you know what I mean? Like people are watching it on IWTV, they're gonna watch Dynamite. And I don't want them to have a direct competition uh with a product that's in the indie scene, right? But on
Yeah.
Tuesdays, like you were gonna get like, and I don't want to say you were gonna get crushed, but you were gonna get crushed by NXT. Like you even had the surprise of LA Knight, coming and
Yeah.
being referee in a match, right? Like
Yeah, I forgot about that part.
they loaded that show, and full full transparency aside, like they called that NXT Mania in the
Right.
back for a reason, and it's like, bro, like you did great, right? And I didn't think that the show was a bad show. I enjoyed watching both Dynamite and NXT, and we'll talk about that later. But it's like Tony, like, yeah, you lost, and then you like started throwing pot shots, and then you started throwing the match graphics underneath that, like, hey, yo, this match is gonna be going on next Wednesday. Come check it out. And like, well, everybody that didn't watch your product on Tuesday, of course, gonna watch it on Wednesday because they liked the show. They like your show. So it was interesting to see.
It Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen the lack of crowds for AEW. Like right now, I feel like AEW is kind of in that like eh stage, and then all the stuff backstage is not helping.
No,
Um, and I think they have this bad they have this bad thing sometimes, especially towards their pay-per-views, where they'll book all their shows in the same state or the same general area.
yeah,
And it's like people can't go to all of that. They can't afford that. That's expensive.
100%.
So like I don't know. It's just as much as I enjoyed Tony losing his shit, because I did. You know I enjoyed it. I enjoyed every second of it. Maybe he didn't get his stash. I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe he took too much because he was over aggressive.
He was super
Yeah,
super
he
aggressive
was
on it.
like over aggressive.
It's not even just that too. Like I mean, like, did you see like they had like did they do a crab dance? Is that what it was with
Yeah,
Cesaro and
yeah,
Wheeler Yuta? Like there was like a lot of things that I just kind of looked at and I was like, man, we have like a lot of issues happening in this whole show that kind of need to get worked out. And they tried
yeah.
to do that big brawl angle like right at the end. You know what I mean? Where like everybody was like going to be fighting at the end, and that would make you tune in. But when Braun Breaker cuts this promo, he's like, "I'm the badass." Lights go out. You're like, but I don't even know what's going on in AEW anymore.
Right?
I know who's coming out now, and it was kind of an uphill battle. But then again, like it was WWE being a bunch of dicks. Like,
It
ayo,
was. It was.
mind you, you have Edge, you have Christian, cool. We have Cena and we have Taker. And yeah, and they teased it the whole week. They teased that this was happening. Like every time that promo came on, where they're like, "Yeah, John Cena and Paul Heyman, Carmelo Anthony, Braun Breaker, dong." And you're like, "Oh shit, are they really teasing Taker?" And then like, sure enough, here comes the American Badass. So it's like, yeah, I mean,
Uh,
it is what it is. But
I-
I thought it
the
was
bald
interesting
assholes.
afterwards. What I liked about afterwards was when Taker. Did you see the thing with Taker and Michaels?
Yeah.
When Taker was like, "Yo, what's it gonna take to get a job around here?" He's like, "I got my gear in the back." I was like, "Yo, hey, yo, Taker understands the number one rule:
Always come prepared.
always come prepared."
Always come prepared.
All right, so
Uh,
final thoughts on Khan and his rants. Like,
Best
how
line
did you
from
feel?
him, bald assholes, like I
Yeah,
just said. That was great. Um, it was too much, and it made him look like his cage can easily get rattled, and you can't have that as the leader of the company.
no,
That's not good.
yeah, I think there was a misstep in how he shot, like how he kept shooting at people on X. Um, but it just goes to show, man, like this is the second time that he's on camera, kind of just like in a public eye, just kind of like lost his shit. And
Yeah,
I'm talking about the second time in like the last 6 months. Cause remember we talked about the CM Punk issue
yeah,
and he was up there just like kind of shaking, talking about how he was fearful for his life. And then you have this moment where like WWE kind of rattled him with like the shows and stuff. I just really, I kind of, I always want the best for AEW because a lot of my friends are there, and a lot of my friends are working on that show. And it's like, Tony, like I need you just to kind of get back to do what you were doing, and figure out that track, right? And I think having Brian Danielson there to like kind of help steer the waters is definitely going to be better for him. Because
yeah, definitely.
and I don't want to say it like this, but over the last 4 years, like what we've noticed with Tony is that he's like a kid with a big sandbox. You know what I mean? He's got lots of toys in there. He enjoys what he's doing, right? But he kind of needs like that person to have him give him that structure that's like, hey man, let's look at these long-term stories. Let's try to build this up. Let's figure this out. And they're getting there, right? But it's like, but you also can't lose your shit. Like, you
Exactly.
just, like,
Like you just can't.
yeah, you gotta be mindful of where you're at. So
it sucks because as much as I crap on AEW, I don't want them to go anywhere. They're
yeah,
great for business. And like you said, this gives opportunity for anybody that is not going to make it to WWE to still be on a worldwide platform and get paid basically WWE money.
yeah.
So, yes, Tony, stop fucking up. I might shit on you and make fun of you, but I don't want you to go anywhere. You've never heard me say, I want you to like disappear and go out of business. No,
No,
like you can't be losing your shit like this, son.
nah, not at all. But all right, so we're gonna keep this popping. Let's move on to temp check, as Chaz would try to pop off and say. Temp check being, hey, we're gonna talk about our hottest wrestler and our coldest wrestlers of the week. So, Damien, actually, before I let you go, I want to give my hottest wrestler from last week because I missed the show. I
You did.
really wanted to be on to talk about this. My hottest wrestler from last week was actually Swerve Strickland. Uh, Swerve has just been putting in like amazing work. And I was like, there's no way that we cannot like give this dude his flowers for how hard that he's been working like that last week with Wrestle Dream and that match with Brian Danielson. And like,
Yeah.
yo, he's A+ talent. And like, I love the work that he's doing right now. So I'm like, that has to be the hottest wrestler of the week from last week. But go ahead and give me your hottest wrestler of the week and your coldest wrestler of the week.
Oh, I'm being petty this week. I'm being super petty this week. Coldest wrestlers is going to be the whole entire AEW roster.
God damn.
And the hottest, it's going to be the E. They
Mm,
killed it this week. Like,
mm,
I mean, across the board.
yeah.
And they've kept their cool. I think that's really what it is. Tony losing his shit kind of put a damper on everything.
So we have one of our hottest wrestlers, LA Knight. I like that
Okay.
one. KO. I don't understand why KO would be the coldest.
He got
Like,
traded to
yeah,
SmackDown,
he just got
though.
traded to SmackDown, and that shit was electric.
Yeah.
Swerve is definitely fire. I definitely super petty. I think for me, hottest wrestler of the week for me, it's hard not to go with LA Knight. Like,
Right?
I will have to agree, LA Knight. He's not a great general manager. Not he's a great general manager, not man. Oh, okay, that's
All
fine.
right. All right.
Um, yo, LA Knight coming out to that pop when Roman Reigns was. It was cool too because like Cena opens the show and the crowd goes crazy, right? And then you have Roman come out and the crowd goes even crazier, right? And then LA Knight comes out and the
Oh, did
crowd
they go fucking nuts?
explodes. It's like, yo, really? Like that's what we do? It was like it was maddening to me. I was like, damn, that is lit. I definitely like that a lot. And I was like, these are how it's supposed to work. Like supposed to get, good,
Yeah.
better, best. And we got that in this movement. And then, Jimmy gotten thrown out and stuff like that. But it was what it was. Hold up one second. What? Don't get me wrong. I'm a huge KO fan, but make him Jim. He's not the GM.
He's not the GM.
He's not the GM. He's just a wrestler. He's the one
Yeah.
that got traded for Jay
Yeah.
Uso.
Nick Aldis is the general
Yeah,
manager of
Nick
SmackDown.
Aldis.
And
I
that
think
was nuts.
I think that would be, also that would be my hottest wrestler of the week, Nick Aldis. Like
Right?
being a GM, getting to finally show up. Like he's only been working as a producer behind the scenes for like the last 3-4 months. But when
Right?
I saw Mickey James's tweet where she's like, I think I'm gonna watch SmackDown tonight, and I was like, uh-oh. And then Anthony texted me and was like, hey, yo, Nick Aldis is gonna be on tonight. I was like, what? And then there he was. Like, I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I was like, that's lit. That's fire. I think my coldest wrestler of the week, it's gonna be rough for me to like say it this way, but Wardlow, like,
I
has
saw
to be.
that. I saw that clip
Yeah.
of I don't know where the hell has he been?
So, he's back now. He's been gone for a little bit ever since the loss, but he's been back now and he's working, right? But it's like we're back to power bombing people multiple times and then just getting rid of them, right? I think Griff Garrison was the first one, and
Yeah.
then I don't even remember who the other person was this week,
Who the hell did
but
he face this week? I
it's
can't remember.
it's just crazy because like we're just gonna start squashing roster again to like build him back up to this powerhouse. But how? How do you build somebody up that you had get beat and then go away for a while and come back and try to do it again? So I think because of that, I think Wardlow would have to be that person. Actually, and I think you know what? Now I'm thinking about too. I want to do a 1B for hottest wrestler. Yo, Powerhouse Hobbs, like squashing Chris
I saw
Jericho,
that. You know, that made me feel
squashing
good
this man.
inside. I didn't see the actual match, but I heard about the squash, and that made me glow inside.
Yeah, I
All right,
always yeah.
so the question, um,
Yeah, the question.
it's
So for
something.
those who don't know, we got a question in. It said, "What is your guys' take on Cody and Jay Uso teaming up currently?"
It was something that I didn't know I wanted.
Yeah, yeah, that's the perfect way to say it.
Like, and then the press conference made it that much better. But they had
Yeah,
the press conference, and then them two up there, the aisle about. That's funny. He is.
yeah, but no, like yeah, those two together, it's very funny because like, um, just the way that they like the yeet thing,
Right.
like, and when Jimmy did it and Roman was like, "Don't do that, no, stupid yeet." Yeah, like, it's like he doesn't get it, but he's like, so he just gets annoyed because other people are saying
Right.
it, and Jimmy's having such a fun time saying it. Like,
It's
yo,
great.
yeah. Actually, this is not a bad one. The bad suggestion too. Big Bill and Starks, also speaking to the hot after,
That
especially taking
whole
down
thing
FTR.
just fucking confused
You know
me
what's so
with them.
funny is I saw this thing on Twitter, right, where this guy put out there, he's like, Big Bill wins his first title ever. Like, this is legit. He's never won one in Impact or WWE or the Indies. And I was like, bro, I was there the day he won the 1CW heavyweight championship. I was like, please, please do not do this. I
Right.
was like, and I get it. The Indies is vast, right?
It is.
Anybody
It
anywhere
is.
is like holding a title for something, right? And it could be, right? But it's like you it's not even necessarily you gotta do your research, right? But just before you put something out there like that, just fact check yourself before you do it because you never know. Somebody else is gonna know information that you're not, and then you get made looking dumb. Because I quote tweeted that. I put the picture up of Big Bill with the 1CW championship, and I was like,
Right.
that's not entirely true. All
A
right.
little
So
bit
other
of a
questions.
lighter.
Another question with is regarding with Cody and Jay. How long do we think it lasts?
It
The
shouldn't
Rumble.
last that long. It
The
should not be
Rumble.
last that long. It really shouldn't last that long. This is a short term thing. Like I said, it's something that I didn't know that we wanted.
Yeah. Whose side is he on? They made Big Bill a monster, which is what he needs to be. Yeah, this is true.
No, it is.
Um, yeah, I agree 100%.
They
He
did
won
win
with,
the tag
and
titles.
they don't. Did they win?
Did they? No, they
I don't
never
think they
did.
never won.
No,
No,
you're
they never
right.
won a
They never
title.
did.
Yeah, they
They
never won
never
the
won a
tag
title
titles.
as a tag team.
No, we was hoping for it, but it never
That's what it
happened.
was. You're right. They were so close so
Yeah.
many times. You're right.
It's yeah, very crushing that those guys never won a tag
I
title
know they
because
were like a good.
yeah, and
They
it's
were
like
over as fuck.
yeah, they were over. They were so over. Like his
They
the next comment was
were.
wow, as they were. Yes, they were very over. Remember when they debuted against the Dudley Boys and
Yeah.
Enzo told Devon, "I'll put that lazy eye back to work." Yeah, also a very nice person too. If you guys ever get a chance, both of them, Big Bill and Enzo. So I'll throw shout outs to those guys.
Enzo is crazy. I
Very much.
like, but he's one of those things. It's one of those things where I could see how he would annoy the fuck out of people in the
Yeah.
back locker room. Like I could see it, but he just seems like he's such a cool dude.
Like
Like
yeah,
just is what it is, and it sucks that like just one of him not being open and honest about his situation of him losing his job. Like I
true.
think if he had a went and was like, "Yo, this is what's going on," even though he was innocent, he still should have said something, and I don't think he would have ever lost his job.
Nah, I don't think so. But we're gonna keep this
Oh yeah, keep it rolling. Let's keep it
moving
rolling.
right along because we know. And if you guys want to, if you guys can't, please share this out with your friends. Let your friends come in, see us. Your friends, your enemies, your mom, your dad, your dog, your favorite cat, your pet goldfish, Jimmy. That's probably named after a wrestler. I don't know. Anyway,
Um,
we let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. We always joke about this, but we always seem to be bringing him up. But CM Punk had been in discussions about going to WWE. It had been revealed, and I don't know how we don't even know how accurate it is. Let's be real.
True.
Yeah, it was wild because like WWE reportedly said that they didn't want him, or they didn't need him at the time, right? So there's not really any interest for him. So how do we feel about Punk not going to WWE? And if anything, where does Punk end up next?
Whoa. Okay, so I think he needs to take a break.
Yeah,
I just think he needs to take a break. To be perfectly honest with you, it makes sense that WWE doesn't need him right now. I mean, really think about it. If he showed up at Survivor Series, he's gonna fuck up plans that they already had in motion. Like, really, who is he gonna face?
yeah,
I am pretty sure that they damn near got WrestleMania figured out
yeah.
of like the direction that they want to go. So like throwing him in there now, like that just it doesn't it doesn't fit for them. It doesn't fit for him.
No,
He can easily get. See, the odd thing is, Punk can easily get lost in the shuffle in WWE.
yeah,
Anybody can. It doesn't matter who you are. It can happen. So it's one of those situations where it's good to know that, all right, there's no interest right now. He's not really pushing it. He needs to take the fucking time off. He's not hurting for money.
no,
Now,
no.
granted, would it be hot to see CM Punk at Survivor Series in Chicago? Hell yeah, it'd be hot as fuck.
Yeah,
Would it make numbers and Raw or SmackDown wherever he shows up is going to push the numbers? Yes, yes it would. But in the long run, is it good for business?
right.
I mean, granted, yeah, I'd do it out of spite just because that's just me. That's just kind of throwing it in Tony's face. But but in business wise, it makes sense.
Right.
So.
So we have a bunch of comments coming in. I want to kind of hit back on Phil. Look at what you have at home. Why do you need to wrestle? Unless she's the reason why he doesn't want to stay at home. I mean, who knows? She's also very busy too, though. She's
She
over
is
there. She's
busy.
taking care of WoW. Like, yo,
Yeah.
shout out to AJ for that.
Didn't she what that
I
she didn't she do a
see.
book?
Yeah, she had a book, right? Crazy's my
Yeah.
superpower. I think she has a second one coming out. Another
Yeah.
one.
So like I know she's busy.
Yeah. Plus, their
Yeah.
parents. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Um, I could see if Punk trying to stay in the biz, and the company could afford it. Impact Wrestling is a rating booster. You know what's funny is I really love that idea of Punk going to Impact. Um, Punk at Impact, I think would definitely be it'll bring some eyes to the product,
It
right?
would.
As in some people will be like, "Whoa, what's going on at Impact?" I think it'll help elevate a lot of the talent there as far as like, hey, we have this person, you can come check out this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy, and this guy. But I think the women's division at Impact is what makes that show work.
Oh, dude, the
Uh,
women's
because they're
division is
loaded,
it's
loaded.
great. The thing is though, the knockouts have always been good. Whether it's been TNA or Impact, it doesn't
Right.
matter what iteration. The knockouts have been the shit. Like
Yeah.
they go in there and they kill it every time. They get time. Don't get me wrong, WWE all around between, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, they have a stacked ass women's roster.
Right.
But let's just take them out of the situation.
Hmm.
And we just say Impact has a better division than AEW.
Yeah. We've talked about that all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, like hands down.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing to say. There's not even a comparison.
When I saw Trinity Fatu versus Mickey James on over at Bound for Glory, I think that's what's coming up.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, I I want to watch this show now specifically for that match. And
Yeah, there's another
not
one.
that not that any other match is wrong, right? Because
Right.
you got Alex
Yeah.
Shelley versus Josh Alexander, and they're
I
going
want to see
for the
that.
heavyweight. I do want to see that match, but like I'm not as hyped as I am for Mickey James and Trinity Fatu.
But see, that's one
And
of those matches that I didn't know that I wanted.
right. And then when Tasha Steeles is and Diana Prazo are on the team, like what? Yo, let me get that team too. That's like there's just so much cool stuff happening in that in the knockouts division that it's like it's hard not
Dude,
to
even
like
when they
it.
did that huge ass knockouts tag team. I didn't know that I wanted that. I was like, oh, please give me more of this. You
Yes,
have
100%.
you have the people that the pioneers of the division with the people that are doing it now with the new people that came in, all meshed together and just beautiful people.
The
Your
beautiful
interest is
people.
still nasty, but I still love it.
Yeah. It's funny because someone, shout out to Justin for this comment, right? If not Impact, NWA needs help on their viewership.
They
You know,
do. They
you know
do.
what's funny about NWA though is that here in a couple days we're gonna hear Billy talk about the TV deal that they signed, right? I think
Awesome.
he said they signed 2 TV deals,
Okay.
right? And so, yeah, what better way to like tell somebody, hey, check out what we got going on NWA, than watch CM Punk on X TV show, right?
Right.
I mean, I'm not even against that. Like all of a
That'd
sudden,
be dope.
Paramount comes out and is like, "Hey, we have a deal with NWA, and they have CM Punk." And now you're like, "Wow, CM Punk is on NWA now with such and such."
That would
So
be dope. I could fuck with that.
it would
Like
be, and that would be exciting because
that's
then
another show that I really like. NWA. I like what Billy's been doing over there. Like
Power is such a good show. Like
yeah,
very underrated, very good show. I love a lot of like wrestlers that are showing up. And you get to get mixes of like EC3, and I know the Carino was there, and then
yeah.
we have Pero. I love watching all those guys work, man. Like it's hard not to like that
It's
whole division.
I've enjoyed the evolution of it. Like in the beginning, it had that like, territorial studio kind of vibe. And I was a
Yeah,
little sad to see it go, but it made sense. And then actually, hearing a couple of Mr. Corgan's interviews about the reasonings behind it, I was like, oh, that makes even more sense.
right.
Like I get it. You can't. And he has a valid point. You can't just. You got to grow.
Yep.
Every company's got to do that. I,
Everybody has to grow,
I mean,
and you got to
look
get
at
us.
AEW going
You
from
know what's
the
funny though?
tubes.
Yeah. Well, what's funny though is that you'll probably see that aspect come back, that studio show. They'll probably do something like NWA something, right?
Right.
Bring back that studio type of feel where like you have like 100 and 140, 150, maybe 200 people like in the crowd, and then you have like the show,
Yeah.
right? And then NWA, like like the main product will be like somewhere out there where watching it live on TV, and they have, and I'm not saying they're going to be expecting like 1,000 people in the crowd, but if you're looking at 900, 1,000, 1,500 people in the crowd, hey, that's a win for NWA.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm reading back his comments and him talking about
Yep.
the wrong NWA. That's great.
By the way, I just want to read those comments out, right? Yeah, but Ice Cube is doing movies now, and Easy is no longer with us. Don't forget that Dre is still out there making beats. All right, like he's doing a great job, and he sold his stuff to Apple. But
Exactly.
he's like, but oh, not that NWA. No, no, not at all.
No, no, not that one. Wrong one. Wrong one.
I miss Kong. Kong is great. I love seeing all those knockouts back together again.
I know that was
Together,
it was such a
so good.
beautiful moment. Like it was one of those where I was like, "Aw," because
But to
like the
bring it
women,
bring it full circle, right? I think CM Punk will definitely be an asset to AEW or to Impact as well as NWA, right?
exactly.
Now, what you do with that is different, right? Because you just saw the implosion on AEW, right? So you're gonna have to kind of set some parameters to like make sure that it works out. It's beneficial for your company as well, and not just Phil, right?
Exactly.
So,
You can't do
and I
that.
know Phil is a very smart businessman. Like he knows how to move needles, and let's not fake like he doesn't cut these bomb ass promos. The
Right?
problem becomes, hey man, is the BS worth everything that you go through, right? Like you're trying to set up like a safer show, and you're trying to do this and this and this. Like you're taking way too much control of things that you shouldn't be taking control of, right?
Right?
And granted, you're looking out for the longevity of like some of the wrestlers, right? Let's just use Jack Perry's incident, right? You're trying to look out for the longevity of those guys, bro. Sometimes, hey, we joke about it all the time in the military. Sometimes you just gotta throw sand at the wall and tell the Marine to hit the beach because like they're not gonna know any better, right?
Right.
And I know, hey yo, being an Air Force guy, I shouldn't be saying things like that, but hey yo, this shit happens, okay? Sometimes
No,
we
it
just
does.
gotta do.
It does.
But yeah, so that is the big question: is the BS worth having to put up with Punk? I it just depends on how they see it. I think NWA has a great. I think the NWA has a great setup. I think bringing in someone shocking like Punk to NWA would definitely it would turn heads, and you'd be like, "Whoa, we gotta see this." So he definitely would be welcomed to either one, I think, and I think he'd be a big booster for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those where, okay, at the end of the day, CM Punk is worth the BS. Let's just call a spade a spade. All right, he's gonna bring in money. Um, See, when he's done in the ring, I can see the commentating.
Yeah, the commentary thing. Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's worth the BS. It's just how you handle it. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
just depends on how you handle it.
And
If
are you
you,
willing to?
yeah, like you need to step up and be like, oh no, we're nipping this in the bud.
Yep. 100%. Like, hey, yo, Phil, I know that you're gonna look out for the safety for all these guys, but you can't. You just can't. Like, you got to be you. Just go about your business, bro. Like,
Yeah, just let it go.
all right. Just like this segment, we're gonna let it go and we're gonna move on to the next one.
Alrighty.
Let's talk about it, man. We have match of the week. So if you guys don't know, we're gonna talk about our match of the week. It used to be called Red Dog's Top 10, and I just stopped doing it. Like, I'm gonna be real. It was so hard to maintain
I bet you it was.
every week watching at least 2 hours of wrestling, not to mention what's going on Raw. And I was like, yo, man, this is way too much. But yeah, let's get into match of the week. So match of the week, our favorite matches. Damien, what was your favorite match of the week?
Ooh. Ooh. It's a tough choice. I have a 1A and 1B, and this is ironically both are from NXT.
Oh, nice.
My 1B is going to be Elio Dragunov versus Dominic Mysterio.
Yes.
Also a match that I did not know I wanted to see.
That is a good one.
It was really good. I enjoyed the hell out of that. Um, and the main event, Carmelo and Braun Breaker, like hands down, they always kill it. And it
Yeah.
was good to see him run it back. And it'd be different.
Yeah, because I think the last time they faced off, it was heel face, right?
Yeah,
Because Carmelo was heel, and then it
yeah,
was tweeners
yeah,
because like both of them were over and nobody was really hated, so they were just kind of cheering for both sides. And then it was face heel with Carmelo being the face. I was like, yo, this is an interesting dynamic. I love watching it. So
yeah. It was different. It's been different than all their matches, and it was it's pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts. So yeah, so that's those are my matches of the week.
I will agree with you as far as having a 1A, 1B, and also 1A being Carmelo Hayes and Braun Breaker. My 1B, however, is going to be actually Bryan Danielson and Swerve Strickland because let's be real,
It was fire. I
those
got to
guys
watch it
can't
back.
put on those guys cannot put on a bad match,
No, they
like,
didn't,
at all.
and I'm surprised that it didn't do better in the ratings as far as like, you know what I mean? Like that was one of those,
Yeah,
and that was what commercial free, right?
it was commercial free. I was
I'm
talking so much shit
surprised.
online about that. I was like, "Yo, commercial free, like cool. We're gonna get like 30 minutes of promos and then like a 5-minute squash match." But instead, we got a badass match with Bryan Danielson. And like, it was like,
Right?
bruh, so good,
It
so good.
was. It
I want
was.
them to run that back, like
I'd like to see that
full
run back.
gear. Yeah, full gear. It
Definitely.
has to be a thing. And I'm glad that Bryan Danielson's like got a list of people that he wants to work for like the next year.
Yeah,
And that's one of the matches that he requested because Swerve is so good and
he
he
is.
just needs that extra boost to kind of get them there. And I think that's what happened. And I was like, very much like, yo, these two together in the ring, chef's kiss. Like, yo, that's That's how it's supposed to happen.
Look at him in NXT.
Oh yeah,
Even this little short run on SmackDown.
Swerve was
Super.
like, I don't understand like where like, and full transparency, both sides, right?
Yeah.
WWE and AEW, right? Like, I don't understand the miss with Swerve. Like,
Right?
the dude just is electric and just makes people want to watch him, right? Whether he's like the good guy and he's like, "Hey, I'm the baby face, fire up, let's go." And the crowd gets behind him, and then he turns heel and the crowd boos him, then they get behind him. Then
Right.
he starts a hit row, and then they go to the main roster and they're the most over thing on the show.
Right.
And then you have him, then you let him go, right? And he goes at AEW and he teams with Keith Lee and they get over. And then he turns heel and the crowd boos him. And then what happens? We have the fucking the Mogul Embassy show up
Right.
and the crowd is all over him again. Like, oh, we love this guy. It's like, this dude is just money everywhere he goes. I don't understand like how they just keep missing out. I'm just like,
I don't get it
capitalize.
either.
Now we have him beating Hangman Page. Now we have him against Bryan Danielson, right? He loses to Bryan Danielson, but he gets over even more
Well,
in that
yeah.
matchup.
That's how you know you're good is when you can get over it and defeat.
Yeah. And that's why I was like, bro, this dude just is electric. I was like, I love watching him work. Great question that we had asked. Has Gunther ever had a bad match?
Oh no. I don't think he
Yeah,
has.
since Walter, right before Walter got picked up into NXT UK, or even on SmackDown or Raw, wherever you want to put him, when Walter was running shop in the Indies and he was this like massive dude who was just beasting people. No, not at all, man. Jordan Devlin, one name that gets redacted, right? Sorry, can't talk about it. But yo, he put on like fire magic at Will Ospreay. Like, yo, this man was putting on match after match after match, bangers of matches,
Yeah.
not
On
just from his
NBC, he's killing
chops.
it. Those chops, man.
Yo, no.
That's one thing I will not take.
Gunther could put over Corbin. Gunther could put over Corbin.
Yeah.
Corbin's not even a bad wrestler.
That's
like,
what I don't get either. I don't get that
People
either.
hate Corbin. I'm like, yo, this dude is not bad. He's
It's
actually relatively good in the ring,
he
and
is. He's
he's a solid
talented.
hand.
He really is a solid hand, and he's good when you put him with anybody.
Yes, he's great. I'd love to see Braun debut on SmackDown confronting Walter. Actually, I want to see Braun Breaker not even confronting Walter, right, or Gunther, right? I want him to come in and just confront, because if they're bringing him up as a heel, right, I want him to confront Rey Mysterio.
Oh God, that'd be so messed up.
I'm just like, and that's not me. That's not me trying to be a dick. Like,
Oh,
I
that would get
love
him
it.
so over. That would get him so much heat.
How much yo, and not even just come in, like just have him. And I don't want to say it like this because I love this group, but I would just have him come in and obliterate LWO. Like just one by one, just take them all out, and then like him and Ray go back and forth, and then as Ray starts to get the one up, boom, we hit him with the power slam, and we just keep it moving. I'm like, bro, that would be fire.
That would give him so much heat.
If Gunther and Danielson ever fall, the internet would break. Yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah, I would like to see that. Too bad we might not ever get to.
Yeah,
Never
unfortunately.
say never.
Yeah, I think they don't know how they want to book Swerve. I think they have an idea now, which is perfect. Just keep pushing him along. Just keep getting up to the next name and next name and next name, and keep pushing him up along the way because I think he's great. Imagine if Swerve versus Kenny match. I want to see Swerve versus Will Ospreay first before
I see him and Kenny. Yeah,
I would love to see Kenny, and I'm not gonna say no. I would love to see Kenny Omega, but I think Swerve and Will Ospreay first, and then let me get Kenny Omega after that. Like, and I know that Swerve and Ospreay have ran it, but just run it back on AEW. I think that'd be fire.
That would be fire.
I hate Corbin, tough. I love that man. Like, I want him. You know what? I want him to win the title.
He's doing his job.
Let me see him win a title. Give him the North Atlantic title. Actually, you know what? F that. Give him the NXT title and let him just run around and talk about how he's a champion.
Right.
I would love that. Like, I just know how many people will be pissed off, and then have him win every single time. Have him win by like some kind of screwy finish, right? Like the top rope breaks. They did it with Finn Balor and the Demon. They can do it with anybody else.
Yeah, they can.
Throw him
into the
to the
side
side
of
of
a
a
trailer.
trailer. Oh, Ray and Braun. Yeah, actually, you know what? Like that would be. Oh
Run
my
that
god,
mat.
the
It's been
throwback.
long enough.
It's been people would be
Lawn
like,
dart him into a
ooh.
trailer.
Lead into Dominic turn face. No, keep Dominic heel.
Oh, you got to keep
Like,
Dominic
yeah,
out.
Dominic heel is the best. I love Dominic heel. Like heel Dominic is the man. He was king of the ring. He was. And they fucked that all up. But no
They
one can
they,
keep
they
keep
really
that
they
going.
kind of
Yeah.
messed it up. It's been messed up for a while.
Did AEW lock down Osprey in a contract? No, I don't think they did. I think he's
I don't
just
think
paid
so either.
by appearance.
Appearance, I think so
Yeah.
too.
Let's see. That would be Fire Swerve versus Will. Thank you. See, I like to think I could come up with some cool matchups every once in a while. Also, you know what I want to see, and this would be kind of funny. Let me get Penta versus Swerve. I
That could
like
be fun.
that would be fun.
That could be
I
fun.
would just imagine like yo, they hitting Canadian destroyers at everywhere in that
Right.
match. Like it's not funny. When I think about it, I'm like, bro, they're gonna be like me the craziest thing. He threw him like he was a dart. Yes, I remember when Nash.
Yes. Yeah,
I'll
I
never
remember
forget
with
when
the
Nash
bitches.
did that.
Wasn't that when they called that's when people around the area called the police?
Yeah.
Called
The
911.
outsiders were, like, terrorizing everybody. Remember too, like, I think at one time, like, WCW ran this angle where it was, like, um, the Steiners versus the outsiders, right? And then, like, they were, like, talking trash to each other, and then, like, apparently and allegedly, like, the outsiders caused the Steiners to have a car accident. And, like, yeah, they were, like, flipping each other off, talking shit, and then they got into a car accident, and then the outsiders were like, "Whatever." And then Scott Steiner turned, like, a little bit later on Rick, which is crazy. Ciampa and Gunther was a banger. It was.
That was a very great match.
It's a good one.
Very, very great match.
I one also thank you guys for just like all the comments that you guys putting
Yeah,
in.
that's
I'm
awesome.
definitely enjoying it. Yeah,
Appreciate
this
it.
is a great conversation that we're having here. Well, let's talk about it, right? So this is the last thing that we're gonna talk about before we get into everybody's favorite segment, which would be what grinds Damien's gears. But let's talk about what had a better show, AEW or NXT. Like full transparency, we gotta talk about this.
Ooh. Okay, I gotta pull up both cards. I have to see both cards because I mean, I did more of a quick through, of course, through Dynamite like I always do.
USWA did that all the time with Lawler
So,
getting hit by a car, Eric Embry putting a plastic bag over Robert Rule's head. Yeah, I remember reading that and like seeing those clips. It was crazy. It's been wild, man. I think for me, if I was like thinking back to it, I know that AEW had their moments for me for Dynamite, but
right?
NXT definitely I felt like had a fuller show. And it had more interactions going on. I felt like with their superstars mixing in with their developmental
Yeah,
talent.
it was developmental. I don't care what you say, Chaz. It was
I know.
developmental.
I can't get over that point, man. Like he was trying to say it's not developmental. I was like, yo, it is. They legitimately say, well, why would they put them over in Survivor Series? Man, listen, they want people to watch the product, so they put them over.
Exactly. What better way to watch it than have
Yeah,
them
so
go over on the main roster,
yeah, on a big four pay-per-view, yeah, man, I would
right?
definitely. Also, man, that
Uh,
was still one of the most badass things ever. I wish that they would never stop that.
I
Like,
wish they didn't either.
I love the war games aspect, but man, like NXT versus Raw versus SmackDown was such a lit idea, and the
It was.
invasion angle was the best.
I know
I
that
need
was
it
pretty
back.
dope,
I need it back.
right? So all right, with I ain't gonna lie, looking at this Dynamite Title Tuesday card, and looking at the NXT card, match wise, Dynamite should have had the better show.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie to you, and I hate Jericho, but like just the way that it's set up,
yeah,
it has the potential to be the better show. However, the way that it was structured compared to what NXT structured, I see why NXT was the better show.
yeah. Well,
Um,
NXT was uh, counter programming the whole time.
yeah, exactly.
Like they were just waiting to see what AEW was going to do, and then they just go and post up like whatever they were going to do on the backhand.
I didn't the women's title match. I don't I didn't care. I ain't gonna lie.
Nah.
I just didn't care. And then the fact that Moxley couldn't wrestle and it's just back on Orange Cassidy because of it, that's just a mess. So those two took me out of Dynamite.
Yeah.
And so by the time we got to the main event, I mean, on actuality, it's only one match on this whole entire card that I would legitimately want to see. Me, personally. And
Yep.
that's Swerve and
Swerve
Danielson.
Brian. Yeah, Brian Danielson.
Like I didn't want to see Edge face Luchasaurus at all.
Right.
Just didn't.
There's so
I
many
get
like I understand because they want to do the storyline with Christian, but you could have held off on that. You could have had
yeah
him run like so many other he even called all the matchups that he wanted to run. Like
yeah.
you could have had anything happen. Juice Robinson, like he put Juice Robinson's name out there. Like could have had him with Juice Robinson, right? You can have him like with Ricky Starks, right? You can have him with Brian Cage, right? Like, I mean, there's just so
It's
many other
like there was
talent.
it was better options in my opinion that he could have went with. I mean, it didn't have to go. All right, we're gonna go straight into this story.
Yeah.
But then
Okay. And I'm gonna say this, man, and this isn't like a hot take, right? And I think a lot of people may or may not agree with me on this one, right? My problem is that like 4 years ago, Luchasaurus was like the biggest dude on that card. And I'm not talking about biggest as in like the biggest name. He was just a big guy,
yeah,
right? But we all kept looking like, yo, there's just something that's just not adding up, right? Like the math is not mathing. And then you see someone like Edge come to AEW, and him and Luchasaurus are pretty much eye to eye, which should tell you that you presented Luchasaurus as this giant, right? This giant dinosaur. And now you have guys like the Big Show that's there, right? Paul is there. You have Edge. You have who I'm trying to think of other people they brought in recently. But you have all these other dudes who
yeah, they're
are
like
yeah,
big
who are
guys,
legit big guys. It's like Edge is near the end of his career, but the dude is still like 6'4", 6'5", right?
yeah,
He's still tall. He's still a bigger dude. So and Keith Lee's there. That's the other person I was thinking for.
yeah. Keith
But like,
Lee, big dude,
but you have these big guys. You have real big guys that came out for WWE,
Big Bill.
and now, yeah, oh yeah, and Big Bill. Yeah, sorry, I'm watching all this kind of go through. Uh, but yeah, Big Bill. Like you have all these big guys now that are on the shows, and now Luchasaurus isn't. Now he's just another dude on the show. Like he's Christian's lag, and Christian is like 2 inches shorter than
Right?
Luchasaurus. Like it's like, and then like Luchasaurus is like wearing like lifts in his shoes, and then of course like Christian is wearing flats to make himself look smaller than uh than Luchasaurus. But he's like, that's like, oh my god, bro, you are legitimately the same size as some of these dudes that you're supposed to be like a monster compared to. So I don't like. I guess I don't know where to like take Luchasaurus at. Like, obviously he's bigger than me. I'm 5'10". Like shoot
And we
wise,
know
I'm
he's bigger
5'10".
than me.
Yeah, he's gonna be taller than me. He's gonna make me look like a chump. He's gonna like pick me up and body slam me and whatever. But my point being is that like when you say he's like this dude, right? He's this tall guy, this big monster, and then you bring other dudes like the rated R superstar. Like now you're starting to realize like, oh, like he's not as a big dude as they portrayed him out to be. Like it almost feels like it's a little misleading to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely. I realized that too when I saw the clips. I was like, oh, Edge is actually not that much smaller than him. They're
Yeah.
practically the same height.
And Luchasaurus is like doing all these flips and stuff like that, and that's great, right? When he's a face, and now
Yeah.
like he's this big badass as a evil dude as a heel, but it's like, yeah, my guy, like I like you, but now we have to find you now a whole new shtick, right? Because I
Oh
think
yeah,
Luchasaurus
definitely.
is yeah he's great, but I think we need to find a new role for you. Like
Yeah.
you essentially have to be this badass. You can't just can't be another dude on the card. There's
Yeah.
something about him makes him stand out, and I'm very worried that like this dude after if like him and Christian just kind of like fall off, like what's next? What you gonna do? You know, bring back Jungle Express. Like, what are we gonna do?
Please don't do that.
You just turn
I'm
both these guys heel. Like now you can put them back as a
right.
tag again. They can be run as a heel tag team. But
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know.
I'm good.
Anyway, back to what we were talking about. AEW, NXT. I think I have to agree with you too. I think NXT had a better show, but not necessarily the better matches, right?
Yeah.
Outside of like I also didn't like the Soraya matchup, right? I think Jesus, what's her face? She just won the belt, 3-time
Sheeta.
champ. Sheeta. I think Sheeta's a great competitor, right? I just think it was on. I think that matchup went on the wrong person, right? I don't think it should have been. I don't think Sheeta should have won it. I think you get that spot to somebody else that is kind of like on up and coming that you're trying to build up to be the next person, not necessarily the person that's going to take her down. Sheeta's a great champion. I loved her like during the whole quarantine era, right? But now it's like she's kind of got to get something going, and
Yeah, it
she's kind
felt a
of like
little lackluster.
yeah, she's kind of stale right now, and I don't like that about her. Like putting the belt on her isn't necessarily going to be the thing that's going to push her in front of the crowd. I'm glad the crowd popped for her, but it's just not the thing. Orange Cassidy winning, I get it, right? Like Luchasaurus, or not Lucha, just reading his name. I get it, right?
Ray Phoenix.
Ray Phoenix he's
Yeah.
running into visa issues, and like because he's running into those visa issues, like they had to move the title off of him and onto somebody else. And obviously it was supposed to go back on Moxley, but Moxley's not back.
Cleared to
So you put
wrestle,
it back
yeah.
on Orange Cassidy. But then like, why not put it on somebody else? Right?
That's what I wanted to know. Like, did it have to be Orange Cassidy? Like,
Why can
seriously.
it have gone like I get that you're running this whole situation with I get you running into this whole situation with Swerve and Hangman, right? But you still have Keith Lee, you still have someone like Shane Taylor, right? You have and I don't want to sound funny, but Angelico is there, right? And he's getting to run a match with Eddie Kingston, right? You still have Samoa Joe, right? Like there's so many
People.
times. You don't have to go back to that person, right? It can go to somebody else. Shit. I put it on Cool Daddy Magic. Like,
They
like
could
yo,
have put it legitly on anybody temporarily.
put it on
The
Daniel Garcia.
the low I feel like the lower on the card of importance, if they had to put that on them and let them run with it till Moxley gets healthy and just have Mox go in there and fucking destroy him.
Right. Or you know, at least make it a competitive match. And
Or
yeah.
we know Moxley's gonna make it competitive.
Yeah.
He's just
I
crazy
just want to
like
watch
that.
him walk in there and hit him with a Death Driver or
Death Rider,
Death Rider and
whatever.
just walk out.
I mean,
Like,
I'd like
no.
that. I would like that.
Or like you could put the title on Wheeler Yuta, right? Like if you
Yeah.
want to keep it in the BCC, put on Wheeler Yuta. I just think there's just like so many other people who could have benefited from having that title that would help them get over with the crowd, and not necessarily because OC. Let's be real, OC's over. Like
Yeah,
he
exactly.
don't need to run with the title, right?
I hate him, but he's over.
He's over like 100%. And then like obviously the guys that name lineage that you want with those big name champions, right? Sammy Guevara would have been another person I would have put the title on because Ray Phoenix is a face, and if you want to put it on a heel, who else better than Sammy Guevara, right?
Yeah.
Like Sammy, it just draws heat. He's just
Yeah,
a
he
heat
does.
magnet.
It's his
Like
face.
he's just got a punchable face.
No, it is. It's his face. It's
It's
the
his
face.
face.
And the messed up part about it is I kind of like Sammy, but he does
Like
have a very punchable face. I
he
ain't gonna
does.
lie.
Shane Taylor would be a fire champion. I
Yes, he
agree.
would.
Thanks for agreeing with me.
Yes, he would.
Yeah, OC made no sense. There are plenty of other choices. Here's another great name. Johnny TV would have been another
Yeah.
person. How annoyed would you have been to see John Morrison walk around with that title? Bro, I would have been so annoyed. QT Marshall would have been another person. I would have been just annoyed.
Oh
Just
god,
watching
just
him
an
walk around with
annoyed.
that
Yeah,
title.
right.
Yeah. Let me get Aaron Solo, like running around that title. Like, you know what I mean? Like those guys, all those guys. You know what? As a matter of fact, what about let me get Buddy Matthews?
Why not?
Why not? Why not let the House of Black run with that international championship, right?
Right?
Whether it's him, or you can bring Aleister Black back, right? Like
Any of the three of them
Yeah,
actually
any of those
would have
guys.
been
Alistair
fine.
would have been amazing to have him as an international champion.
Yeah, would have.
Like I would just there's just so many options out there that you could have had, but to put it back on OC, and maybe Alistair's hurt, right? It is what it
It
is.
could. Yeah,
But
could
I
be.
think you could have had anybody pick up that title and just kind of come out of nowhere, right? Oh, he's gonna defend against you know Andretti, right? I know he's running in ROH right now. He's running with that tag division.
Yeah,
Cool. But I keep thinking of like more people that you could have just like
there's a lot.
brought up in this. Yeah, there's so many names that you could have taken outside. But it is what it is. Hook could have put on Hook.
Right?
I mean, I love Orange Hook as a tag team, but could put on Hook, right?
Could have very easily.
Yeah. Put it on Khan. That's my choice. Outside of Shane Taylor, put on Khan. Like that's who else needs to have it. Lee Moriarty. Let me get
I,
Lee. Let
well,
me
I see what somebody put up there. Dustin.
Dustin Rhodes. Yeah, Dustin Rhodes was another name.
You know
When was the
what?
last time I actually seen
That
Dustin
would have
wrestle?
been fire. Give him one more run.
Give him one last title run.
Yeah.
And they
Oh,
might have, but he might have turned it down.
he might have. He might have
He might
turned
have
it
been like,
down.
you know what?
I mean, I wouldn't blame him.
Nah,
Just
Tony,
because
I'm gonna
at
turn
this
this
point he
down.
doesn't need it.
Nah.
Really, if you wanna be honest.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well, that's so as we kind of both discussed, right? I think NXT had a better show. AEW had some better matches, but overall, I go with NXT, right? That's the reason why they had almost 1 million viewers.
yeah, they did.
Damien also agrees. NXT. What is your guys' choice? Who do you guys think? But more importantly, let's hop into everybody's favorite segment that you're here for. Damien, what grinds your gears?
Ew, all right. So it's I think it's tribalism.
Mm,
This week in general has been full of it on all sides.
yes.
Um and it's one of those where it's like it really bugs me that it's like, oh well, it's okay for Tony to lose his shit like this, but if it was Triple H that did that, the internet would have been like, oh no, you can't be doing that, you're a horrible person, this, that, and the other. But the cokehead can get a pass. Nah, no. That man tried to hit below the belt while everybody else on the other side just sat back and laughed.
And just watched.
Yeah. So it just annoys me that like, everybody is like, "Oh, you know what? Nitpicking that WWE did this and did that and did this." But if it was the other way around, and let's say Dynamite beat NXT, WWE would have not said nothing and kept the ball rolling. Whereas then this be this huge celebration that they took down corporate evil and this, that, and the other. And I mean, shit, that's the shot that Tony took at Vince. And Vince had nothing to do with any of this for NXT. But you took a shot at Vince. It just blows my goddamn mind that it AEW fans are fucking idiots.
It is weird, man. Like, I saw this dude on TikTok, right, a couple days ago, and he was like full on driving his car, just pissed off at the world. Like, I'm tired of these fucking WWE fans talking shit about AEW and blah 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 blah. And you guys think you're so cool and this, that, and the other. And I was like, bro, like, why are you like, did AEW pay you? Because if
Right?
not, I don't know why you're putting this message out. And it's not like AEW is gonna go back to you and be like, hey man, thanks for standing up for us. It's
Right?
not gonna happen. Like,
Not at
I
all.
get so tired of seeing like fans fully like, and I get it, right? We're all invested into this wrestling business. We're invested in things in life, right? And we're gonna defend those
Right.
things that we just love so much. But to go online and just be like, this is ridiculous. Why do you guys think you have to do this? And blah blah blah. But it happens on the other side, and you're like, yeah, us. Yeah, no,
You know?
it's not you. It's yay them. You're not
Exactly.
there. Like I let me put it out this right. I'm full supported, hardcore Broncos fan. I make no worries about it. We're 1-5 right now. Fuck you. I don't care, right? But you're never gonna catch me tweeting out, "Hey, yo, fuck them Raiders, man, because those guys can eat a dick." Like I won't do that because it's like the Broncos are gonna send me a tweet and be like, "Hey, yeah, man, way to give it to them." Like, no, they're not gonna care. Like, stop being yes, right here is perfect. They really are. They're just brave behind the keyboard.
Oh,
Like,
they're keyboard warriors. Yes.
yeah, like why? They don't care. And the thing is that really upset me. They was like every time Tony threw a shot, like all these fans are in the middle that are like, "Hey man, yeah, Tony makes a great point here." If Tony Khan would have like tweeted out like, "Hey man, everybody should take the vaccine," all of a sudden everybody been like, "Yeah, let's take the because AEW said to." Like, no, dude, stop being so dick ride. Like you're an
No,
independent
okay,
mind,
I mean, don't get me wrong. Yes, I am a WWE loyalist, right?
right?
And yeah, I do shit on AEW, but I do give them their props. You know what I mean? Like these people that are like what like just like are just like this ride or die. You would think this was like the East versus the West during the Biggie and Tupac situation. Or WCW versus in WWE. Like
Right.
those kind of loyalists where it got like bad. It doesn't need to get that bad.
No.
You know
And the
what I
thing
mean?
is like
Like
even then, right, with WWE and WCW, it wasn't that
no,
bad.
it wasn't as bad as it is now. Like
No.
you had your loyalists.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, everybody was watching both programs.
Everybody was. No one shut out the other one because they're like, "I'll never watch that product." Bullshit.
Exactly. Oh no, I look, I was happy when Nitro did the double viewing. I'd
Right.
watch Monday Night Raw. Soon as Raw went off, I didn't go to bed till 3 o'clock in the morning because I watched Nitro. Be
What I
tired as
really,
hell on
you know,
Monday
it
or
is it's
Tuesday.
funny because like everybody talks so much about this stuff. I'm like, bro, come on, man. Like, let's not play around anymore. Like it's 2023, right? And we're out here arguing about professional wrestling, and so much to the point we're threatening other fans online that,
Right?
yo, fuck you, I'll kick your ass. Like, bruh, WWE ain't gonna slide in your DMs and be like, hey man, yeah, you keep defending us like that, bro. Like, it's
Right?
just never gonna
We're gonna
happen.
send you a
I never,
package. Take hand handle
yeah.
your business.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, man, don't worry. Take care of that dude. Hey, we're gonna trace that guy's IP number. Go ahead and we'll find him and go beat him up, dox him. Like, no, it's not gonna happen, man. Like, they don't care. They don't care. They want your money. They want you
Yeah.
to go and react. And the fact that you guys are reacting, right? And I say you guys, I react to, but the fact that you're reacting to the product so much to the point that you hate the other side is just great for business. If you want AEW to go away, or if you want WWE to go away, right? Just don't talk about the product. Because I'm gonna tell you all something that Eric Bischoff said openly, right? Whether you hate somebody or you love somebody, business is good. Simple as that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember. There's a comment up there, right? Uh, I remember when that happened.
Oh, wait, Foley.
That I'm not gonna lie, that was my turning point when I started watching less of WCW because it was one of those situations. It was like, oh, you fighting dirty, dirty,
Yeah.
right? They
Right.
totally are. That's exactly what they're doing. I'm waiting for somebody. I'm waiting for a wrestling fan to get shot or stabbed. I'm waiting. Yeah, I
It's
am
crazy.
waiting.
It's crazy because think about this, right? Like, and this is the funniest part, right? We think like we have like this big battle, right? This big feud, WWE, AEW, and these fans are all fighting each other online, while the rest of the world is like, "What?
Like, dude, there's like
What are you fighting
war
about?"
going over in third world countries across the
Yeah,
other side of the ocean, and they're really dying.
they're over here like they're over here. It's weird because like as wrestling fans, we make fun of other fans too, right? Like
Yeah, we do.
let's put it out to full transparency, right? NFL fans, right? NFL fans, hey, y'all know who you're talking about, right? Some of these fans
Oh,
will go to stadiums, right? Drink a little liquid courage, and then fight other fans.
they
And they
will.
don't care if it's on their team or they're on the other team. But you say one thing about their squad, they are fighting you. You show up in a different jersey, they are fighting you.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
There are Bronco fans out there like that. Trust me, I've seen the videos, okay? And you guys know better too. But the point being is,
There's Ravens fans like that.
and then and here's the craziest part, right? Is that baseball fans are like, what are you fighting about? Like, Star Wars fans are out here like, there's bigger things happening in this world than your two teams fucking fighting each other. Meanwhile, they're over there pissed off at each other because, someone said that Anakin Skywalker is now the most powerful Jedi in the whole entire Star Wars universe. Well, meanwhile, someone's like, no, it's Luke, and then now you have those guys feuding out, right?
Fighting.
It's beyond me the tribalism and how quick that we're like, you're either with us or against us. Like, no, I'm not with either one. I'm with wrestling. Like, I enjoy watching wrestling, and you should too. Just like those Marvel DC fans out there that are like, DC sucks. Marvel's the best. Marvel sucks. DC's the best. How about you just like comics?
I love both for two different separate reasons.
It's
And
still good.
I'll tell you that right now. Both comics, as far as like actual comics, beautiful. Amazing artwork, amazing stories. DC's animated movies are way better than their live action, whereas Marvel's live action is way better than their animated. There you go.
I'm just laughing because I'm like, bro, this is it. I get it though, man. Like when I see Tony Khan go out there and like just lose his shit online, and then the fans are like, yeah. But if Vince McMahon would have done that, like, AEW fans would have ripped that man apart.
Oh yeah, they would.
You're just mad because a fledgling t-shirt company got the best of you. Ha 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 ha. And then they got mad when, like, remember when Triple H was like, cool, you beat our developmental. And
Yeah.
everybody was like, what? What? How do you say that? You said it was a third brand. What's up, Chaz? You said it was a third brand. Like, it's not developmental anymore.
Yeah, it is. It can be a third brand and still be developmental.
Yeah. Tribalism or not, man. It's so dumb. I'm like, bruh, it's so dumb. I was like, cool. So you officially become the most badass person arguing which is better, WWE or AEW. That's like being the best rapper in the NBA. Like, it's just, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't. That doesn't matter. Okay, you can spit bars. Yay.
Yeah,
Can you make a
cool.
shot?
Can you win us the game? No? All right, then. Pass.
Exactly.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for our show. Thank you guys for coming in. I know Chaz always has his PlayStation, get your trophy, Xbox, you get your achievement, computer, you get a virus, whatever.
Computer fans, I'll give you a thumbs up.
You can get a thumb. You can get a like. You can be like Facebook's old times and just get a poke from me.
Oh, and yeah, and this last comment, I'm gonna put this up there just because it's hilarious. Yes, be like me and Cornette and hate everyone.
Go ahead and follow us on all of our social media platforms. You guys see us right there. Check us out on Big Plus Network because these are the guys who are helping us now build our brand. So Big Plus Network right there. And yeah, you guys tune into us, buy our merch, prowrestlingtees.com, or even go check us out on foryourwear.com. We have all of our stuff up. We want to enjoy more of this stuff with you guys. We have some other stuff that's kind of being put in the books, and we're starting to put things together. As you guys can see, we're still managing, making things happen.
Give y'all some more content and stuff.
Yeah, put in more content. So we want to enjoy that with you guys. If you guys like this kind of stuff, leave your likes, leave your hearts, leave thumbs up, leave comments, share this with your friends, tell everybody about us, and then we will check you guys out later. So just make sure when this episode ends, you just click on another episode and you check that episode out. So me being a Red Dog, him being a Dark Lord himself, you guys, peace. Kawaii. What's going on? It is Clipper Red Dog Miller, the man that leads you up that mountain called wrestling. And what we need from you guys is just kind of show some support, right? We want you guys to go to our YouTube channel at the 3 Count Podcast, go on to our Twitch channel, 3 Count Pod, or even our Facebook page, 3 Count Podcast, and just give us a like, follow, subscribe, even give us a comment, right? Do all that cool stuff. Share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with your enemies, right? Or you can even come talk to us and just chat us up, right? Find us on Twitter at 3count_pod. Find us on IG and on TikTok at 3 Count Pod. Go ahead and leave us those comments. We want to hear from all of you guys. We're going to keep putting on videos and stuff like that. We want to keep making this content better, so we want your guys' support. Also, if you guys want to, go support us at prowrestlingtees.com/the 3 Count Podcast, or even find us on foryourwear.com. Give us the support. Show us your guys' love, because we want to give it right back to y'all. So, in the meantime, between time, love y'all.